walking her around, and it's always still super exciting to actually still experience. So it's like I'm still playing with my new toy. It's been over a month, but I'm still in that playful stage with it where it's like, I can't believe it happened.
And how did it happen? Did you work a specific Cogno quantum? Were you clearing something? Like, how did that show up in your life?
So I guess because it had been something that I wanted for a little bit of time. Okay, so a lot of time, if I'm being realistic. It was a lot of time that I was really wanting this thing. And what Cogno Movement taught me was that instead of wanting something with all your might, just release everything that's blocking you from bringing it into you. So for it to be a match to what it is that you want. And I think that's what Cogno Movement did. It removed all those barriers and all those blocks so that I was actually in alignment with it. And there it was, it manifested. It's so funny because it was sitting in the driveway with a big red bow on it. And, there's one other white car, of friends that come and visit. So I just assumed it was that person's car, having no clue at all that it was mine. And it was a Pro White Tesla. So, I'm still super excited about it. So that's the magic of the Cogno Movement in a nutshell. Remove the barriers and it's there. Ta-da!
Yeah, it's kind of twofold, right? You got to remove the barrier. Threefold. You got to get specific, right? And then you got to get your nervous system to agree to that manifestation. So congrats, Annette. Thank you so much. So Coral, I can see your face, so I'm calling on you next.
Hello, thank you, Liz, and thank you, Bill, for letting me speak. So how my life has changed, it's night and day. I'll just say your environment changes as we change, as we release things. And where I moved from, the house was a fixer-upper. There was all kinds of stuff to be done, and it was overwhelming. When we moved, because of, this is 2 years I've been doing Cogno Movement, it changed the entire landscape of how I, in my environment of the house we have, there's no fixing up being, it's nice. But it was because of removing a lot of things that were barriers, basically. And I didn't know that would be the outcome, but I know that our environment is a reflection of things that we can work on. Manifesting, Miss Annette there is wonderful to be in the family with, because she and I wanted to go to one of the practitioner trainings in San Diego. And we had a lot of stipulations because we're from out of state and that sort of thing. Well, we both decided to try to manifest it, and we did some Cogno Movement around it, and it just happened. Like within the day, we had the place to go and all. Anyway, so those are 2 areas of sharing. Is there any other questions?
No, I just want to know if you're willing to share. Do you feel like that when you want something now that you are able to just choose instead of struggling with it, or is that putting words in your mouth?
Nah, well, I do know the choice is always there now after using Cogno Movement. I'm still working on removing things a lot. And the reason, it's not that I'm have to, but what I see is I'm always like, oh, what's this? What is this? Why is this bothering me? Instead of blaming something else. So it's really out of curiosity. I just love fantastic stuff comes up that I would never in a million years correlate to why I'm having a resistance to whatever it is. And then once removing that resistance, my life really, truly, I am just at a more peace on a regular basis. And it's, yeah, did that answer it?
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I just think that's terrific, right? And it's a great lesson for all of us is what Coral, what you're saying is that there's a fundamental shift to curiosity when something is bothering you, to locking in on it, like, oh my God, somebody's going to get punched, that metaphorically speaking, but now you're like, oh, something good to clear. Let's get after it. Yeah. Wonderful.
That's what I was going to say. It's kind of fun and funny with us who use Cognomovement on a regular basis, and for me it's daily, that when you come up against a problem, it starts to become a little bit fun. You're like, ooh, I can clear this out. And for me specifically, it's about the shift in perspective. If you're brand new here today to Cognomovement, it's one of the biggest things that happens is you immediately during, if it's a 1, 3, 5-minute session or longer, you massively shift perspectives. And as it turns out, the two hemispheres of the brain do have different perspectives. In fact, they have different personalities a lot of times. Research where they've clipped the corpus callosum, what helps the two sides talk, finds that when one side or the other side is free, they have different opinions. So one hand might take a coat off of a rack and the other hand will grab it and put it back. So that's one thing we don't talk about very often, is just by being able to access the different hemispheres of the brain, which we do so expertly with Cognomovement, we can actually access not just the two hemispheres of the brain and their opinions, but the body's perspective, and then the higher self or creative mind's perspective. So for me, that's the most fun. Like, oh, here's a problem. What's the new perspective? Consider it this way. If there's a court case, and I had a client who was working on this recently, if there's a court case, the other person in that court case, well, they're the bad guy. Yeah, but you're the bad guy to that person, right? If you have a problem with someone else, in their perspective, you're the bad guy, and in your perspective, they're the bad guy. When you use this tool and you have the ability to see all of it, you realize maybe nobody's the bad guy. Maybe it's a total misunderstanding. So for me personally, that's the most fun, and it sort of does strangely become fun to address a problem and work it out. All right, do I have any other practitioners with me this morning? I don't think I do. If not, Bill and I'd like to open up to you. Is there anyone here who has changed their focus, their perspective, their body, concentrating better, removed a trauma, that would be willing, and it would help us a lot if you would just share that quickly. Open your mic and go ahead. Tracy, go ahead.
Yes. Hey, good morning. I just wanted to give an update. We did a lot of work on me healing my relationship with my mother during the retreat. And I've continued to do the breath work with Bill.
Hey, Tracy, your camera is not on.
Oh,
There we go.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Go start again.
okay. Sorry.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Anita. All right.
So I continued to do work because when I left the retreat, there still were a few tendrils that I needed to kind of work through. I wasn't sure what it was. So doing the breath work with Bill and opening the heart every day I do with him or without the group. And this week I entered into deep compassion and forgiveness that showed up as compassion and separate differentiation. Before I was kind of enmeshed in unresolved emotional issues with her. And it's been a feeling that I've never felt in relation to her. And it's really mind-blowing, really, just continuing to work on what we did deep work on already. And I couldn't get to that forgiveness phase, like really feel it in my body, even though I intellectually, of course, I forgave her. So I have a heart opening. I see her differently. I feel compassion for her and I feel free.
Wow. So you got to experience not just the mental, because you said you could intellectually understand, but the physical perspective. Is that right?
Yes. Feeling the compassion and knowing that it's true. It's a heartfelt compassion that feels authentic and deep. Not just, oh, I should feel compassion or I should feel forgiveness. It's actually in my body.
So Tracy, I know you do a lot of work, like you're so highly educated in so many other modalities and things, and you've worked on this before, so that makes sense. Would you say that now, is there any sense of a different perspective from your creative or higher mind as well? as the physical and mental?
Yeah, because what came with it was worthiness, right? Because I was working on not feeling worthy because of the trauma stuck in my body, the patterns of unworthiness. And I feel more confident, more free. And I was with my brother and sister-in-law yesterday for dinner, and I felt embodied. Usually I'd kind of trigger around family, and it was great to feel present.
Oh, huge, huge.
Yeah, because there was always a part of me that kind of disappeared or didn't feel safe, and just because of the past, and now it just feels great to be there. So
Oh man, quality of life,
Yeah.
quality of life.
For sure.
Awesome.
Gosh,
Awesome.
that's so nice. And consider that, family shift in how you feel about your core family. Man, that's huge. I've gotten to experience that myself. And there's just nothing, I can't say there's anything greater in life than having what Tracy is describing as that freedom. I've had that too. Amazing.
It's a great gift, and I want to thank you both for helping me get there. And like Bill always says, and you said, Liz, the treatments that we do on ourselves continue even after we're not physically doing them.
Yeah. Yeah. Very expansive. Well, thank you, Tracy and Anita, because you guys are people that work with other people and spread the light on the planet. So we know that when each of us makes these huge changes, that we're able to spread that and teach it. So we're so grateful for you guys to just have that and be getting it out there too.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, anybody else want to share? It can even be just a tiny thing that has shifted, even from this morning. If you did your Cogno session this morning, anything that changed in your life, perspective, body, relationship, something you learned that you know now that you didn't know before. That's my favorite.
I would like to share.
Great, open your mic. Who do we have?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
There you
hi.
go. Oh,
Right there.
So I'm Antoinette. I am new to Cogno movement. I started about a month ago. I watched Bill on Gaia, and it just resonated with me. So, and then I found Annette, who has been very instrumental in helping me. And things that I've seen was definitely the compassion for other people, being able to put myself in other people's space. They're, where they are. I'm a nurse, and I thought myself to be compassionate. Like, I got this, I can do that. But it wasn't until, and I had 2 sessions with her, and this is how much of an impact this has had on me in these 2 sessions. Learning to be emotionally available. I didn't know what that was at first. I didn't know what that was. I had no clue that it was something I should even achieve. And I haven't even discussed it with her yet, all of the things that are coming up just from our session last week. But I'm just very grateful to be in this space, to have, even this moment to even share this. But it has definitely in the last 2 to 3 weeks made a great impact on my life. And I can't wait to see what happens in 6 weeks or 2 months or, that kind of situation. So I'm grateful to be here and for what you've shared.
And thank you. And thank you so much for sharing. Tell me, are people responding to you differently, is there changes in your relationships that are even beyond the people? Let's say I do it at work, right? I can have this emotional availability at work. Are you noticing that in a broader sense that there's relationships or the way people are treating you different? Is there any change like that?
Yes. And I just noticed it a couple of days ago, where before I was very reserved. I was giving off that closed off vibration. I now speak to everybody that I encounter, and whether they say hello or not, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay that they don't speak back. I feel good within myself. And that's what me and Annette got to go through, that being in yourself and being okay with it, who knows if they didn't have a bad day today? you know, it just wasn't their moment. But to have that, my mom is now my best friend, which is kind of interesting to say. I have 3 children. So of course I started to, you know, show them what Annette shows me, how to embody these things. And my house is so flowy right now. And it's only been 3 weeks. So to see what happens in 6 weeks is, my head's blowing.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, right? A good relationship with your mom and your family and your house is flowing. Now that is just awesome. Really, really is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I mean, the majority of humanity doesn't have what you have. You've really jumped up your life. So congratulations. That is, you know, right? Things that we wish we knew, you know, many years ago. But now you got it. And there's this other gift, this other hidden gift. And the hidden gift is to your children. And that is, it is permission. It's you have given your children permission to be emotionally available for other people, and that compassion and all, and that connectedness, it becomes okay. It's okay. So congratulations. And you have given a gift that is going to keep giving for generations. So congratulations. And thank you so much for doing the work, and then even sharing. Double bonus. Thank you so much. Very grateful.
You know, Bill and I were talking about asking people to share today. Gosh, Bill, this is better than we expected. These are so heartwarming and so huge.
So awesome. So awesome, right? You know, here, I'm just going to say something real quick. I see a lot of people, right? And even, you know, right? Even in my own life, we go to Bed Bath and Beyond and get the new toaster. We got to have the new microwave. We got to go, and you know what? You know, it's a bigger, better house. It's a, you know, some other relationship. With all of these things that we are out there trying to get, whether it's a mate or a thing or a paint color on your house, you know, your room, what we're after is a good feeling. I just want to feel good. And I don't want to feel, you know, that angst or tension or whatever. And the most interesting thing is that this is giving everyone these exactly what they need, which is to be absent those negative feelings and to feel good and to have harmony, right? So many times we do so many things. I'm going to cook you a nice dinner for some harmony. I'm going to take you to lunch. I'm going to, you know, buy you a new car or something to get you happy and feel loved. And here you guys are doing it. And so anyway, it's just so wonderful to, and as Liz says, heartwarming to hear these stories. This is when we started Cogno Movement many years ago, me and Liz, our dream was to be able to have this across the globe and humanity to start to embody these fundamental good feelings, right? And be absent the conflict and the rub and, you know, the things, right, of when we got hurt. Because as humans, we hurt as we have been hurt. And when you're absent that hurt now, now I'm not going to do that to you, right? I'm not going to serve that up to someone else. So anyway, Wonderful. Thank you so much. Please, anyone else? And anyone would like to tell us about something interesting that manifested or anything?
So while the next person is queuing up, I just want to share with you guys, we're getting some questions in the chat. Yes, we will be doing a little mini session today, absolutely. And sharing with you a little bit about what Cogno Movement is. We will also, after that, take questions and answers. But we want to just spend a few more minutes relishing in some of these amazing things. I also just wanted to add to Tracy and Anita, who said that about the relationships. We know this for sure with Cogno Movement. This is the one thing we've learned. And I think this is what Coral and Annette were talking about too. We know that when we come up with a challenge, we work the relationship with ourselves. When we change the relationship with ourselves, within our body, within our nervous system, Cogno Movement is about brain and body working in the nervous system, that we change the relationship with everything else, including the stuff we want, including that pink color or the car, and absolutely including the people around us. So we change the relationship within our nervous system and everything else changes. So it looks like maybe Carol Ann, did you want to share? Go ahead and open your mic if you want to share. We have time for one or two more quickly. Focus, something you manifested, your body.
I'll go if nobody else goes. Hi.
Hi.
Susie.
I want to tell you what happens when you don't do Cogno Ball for a month. I had 2 surgeries. While I had a surgery on each eye, he wanted, shout out to Coral. He wanted me to say, I'm so sorry, I can't see right now. He can't see. It's drops, 15 minutes worth of drops every 3 hours for a month now. So but we miss you guys so much. And the only Cogno Ball I've been able to do I'm way over the edge as far as, oh, by the way, I'm practicing on you. I'm doing a music show today, and this is a huge background, and I tie-dyed my hair to go with my outfit, but you can't see it. I got to move the computer back. I'm doing a music show this afternoon. But anyway, I miss you guys. And when we don't do it, the only Cogno Ball I did was because I've done it so much, I do it in my sleep. And that's the only way I've stayed connected. We're going to start connecting again. And Wally says he thinks he can see the little spots on the ball in the next week or two, but we miss you. We just want you to know if you take a month off, it's really hard. I mean, it's easy to pick up the ball again, but it's so hard to find time because you're so, thank you. And today is 11/11 and I'm on daylight savings time, and it's going to be at 11/11 in a little while here. I'm going to stop and meditate or whatever. You guys are on a different time, but it's a portal today. We can, whatever happens today, and especially at 11/11 today, I mean, stuff happens. So I love you. I encourage you. I miss you. Thank you for letting me talk. I miss you. This was so hard being and not having enough time to do anything except in my sleep.
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
ask you a quick question, because
Yeah.
you have worked with a practitioner. You've actually worked with me.
Yes.
And you guys do Cogno Movement on your own. So I'm just going to
Yes.
put you on the spot a tiny bit if you don't mind.
Please. I love it.
Is there one thing about using the system that you feel has helped you the most? Is there any one thing that really you use on a consistent basis?
Yeah. And it's kind of a, what do they call it? A catch-22. The more I stretch my eyes, the more effort I get. But then the next day I go, oh, that hurt my eyes, so I don't want to do it. So you got to stretch your eyes as much as you can. And if there's a spot where your eyes flicker or your eyes, if you stay with that, even if you don't know what it is, stuff in your life will smooth out. A lot of times you'll get pictures, but I've got this spot right up in here, and I hold the ball up and I hold it and hold it. And then I go, wow, I don't, sometimes I get a picture, sometimes I don't. But within the next couple of days, I feel something resolving. So it's like, if you have this little flicker in your eyes, or you, and if you've got a friend, a lot of times you go like this, I can feel my flickers. But if you're doing the 8, and if you get a little flicker over here, you go, oh, that's a little flicker. And if you've got somebody to watch you, Liz, you helped me so much that at the conference, because I could see where Wally's eyes flickered. And I couldn't see that before. And when you see that and you hold the ball there and keep his eyes there, even if they're twitching out a little bit, we get results. So
Awesome, Susie. Thank you.
That is so great. Susie, I gotta thank you so much. And I love your hair, tie-dyed hair and everything.
Tie-dyed
That's
hair.
so awesome. Awesome.
it'll be, go ahead.
Susie had penned the first Cogno Movement song. Anyway, maybe not this time, but next time, hopefully, maybe you could play it again. I love it.
I got 3 songs now.
You got 3 songs.
So,
okay.
So whenever I'll be, this is my place at the piano. So whenever you want a song, I'll be here from now on. We're having to move out to the living room a little, but I love you guys, and I keep getting songs. I even got another song since I wrote these 3 down. So I love you guys, and I'm sure music will continue to happen to me. It's the only, besides Cogno Ball, music is the only thing that keeps me up over the negative, the crap that's happening on our planet right now.
Thank you so much, Susie.
Love you guys.
Thank you. So I have to share something here, and maybe Liz, you can share one from your week. But Susie, you kind of stimulated something that happened this week with one of my customers. They had a thyroid issue. So this thyroid issue had been going on. They're probably well into their 50s, and this thyroid issue had been going on since they were a teenager. Well, the most amazing thing happened during the session. So as many of you have already experienced, when you get the basic training at Cogno Movement, there's the video training that you get with basic training. And anyway, the infinity, where we move the ball and we follow it with our eyes. Hers in particular was right up here. We had her to focus on her thyroid. She said, my thyroid issue is just ruling her life. And the doctors are saying it's wrapping around her vocal cords, and, and it was real issue for her. Well, anyway, we move the ball, and there's this area where it's really difficult. She's having difficulty in the area. And as I say, many people have been on this before. The problem and the solution are in the exact same place. Our eyes are connected to our brain, and it lights up the particular part of the brain that is stuck. The position of the eyes is relative to a position in the brain. Anyway, so we're doing the movement, and I happen to know that energetically or emotionally, the thyroid has a lot to do with expressing yourself, fear around expressing yourself. So we get up here, and it just so happens that this woman is of African-American descent. And we get there, and the tears start coming. Like, she's here, and the tears just start coming. And she says, all that she can see here is big, thick chains. And she said, this is not even mine, it's my ancestors. She had all of this in her from slavery and the hardship of slavery. And quite specifically, you'd be beaten or killed if you're saying something, right? You don't talk back. You don't say anything. You just do what you got to do, and just keep your head down to keep from getting beat or killed or worse, tortured. So anyway, once this, happened, there was this extreme release of emotion, and the eyes, right? When you see the truth, what happens is there's a connectivity happens in the brain, and then the eyes will reflect that. So anyway, the thing physically felt it, and emotionally, boom, just came down. Anyway, it was really huge, and there were some other issues in other places and when we worked through it, but I just thought it was really interesting that we, humans, we have our ancestors informing our biology. And we know, if you guys, some of you have seen my Gaia, interviews, but this information that's come from our ancestors of trauma is a real scientifically proven phenomenon. They had Dr. Diaz from UCSD had a bunch of mice, and then he had a cage and electrified the cage, and he would take this fruity chemical smell and he put it over the mice, and then he would shock them. And so he did this repeatedly. Well, he would basically, they'd smell the smell and then they get shocked. So they were traumatized. Anyway, he ended up, taking out the sperm and egg out of them, and artificially implanting into another mice that had never met. The offspring, who had never met their parents, he would go over to when they grown, he went over to the cage and just put the fruity smell, and the mice went nuts, right? They're like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on, but it's not good, and they're, freaked out. And this actually multi-generational. So it is very much proven. If you don't know why, if you feel the way you feel, it could just be, that it's not even yours, it's some stored information from your ancestors. So I've seen this quite a bit, but it was a real interesting story this week of something that happened. And Liz, do you happen to have a story of this week that you could share?
I have a million. I'll share one really quickly, and then let's dig in and give everybody a mini session. That's what they're here for. That's what they're looking for. I know you guys love stories as much as we do, but there's nothing like doing it. So the story I have this week is a little out there. Practitioners, you're going to love this one. We started to ask people what else is changing in their life in a greater sense. So I'm working with somebody that I'm working with quite often, and he has big projects going, and he's connected to a lot of people. And a lot of these projects are connected only through him. So it turns out that people in his extended group are now starting to manifest based on the work that he's doing. So one person in his group, for example, received a neighbor just walked up and said, hey, I like you guys as neighbors. I'm getting rid of stuff. I would love to give you a car and also some jewelry that has diamonds in it. So if you guys are doing Cogno movement and you're new, even Antoinette, Tracy, Anita, look into this. Susie, who around you is also creating miracles that you didn't realize? Start to look at your extended group, family, friends, co-workers, and see who else is manifesting. So for me, that was particularly interesting.
The expansiveness around you. We don't ever think about that. Wait a second, you mean I'm having an effect on others? Well, we do. We do. Yeah. All right. Liz, would you want to, now, by the way, I'm just going to preface this for everybody. Cogno movement is an entire system of components that will work independently of each other. When you combine them all together, they're massively effective. This is simply a sample. It is only a small little appetizer for you of the much bigger system. So you're just going to get one technique today of the entire system to try out. There is obviously on the website, we have offerings of the basic training and Cogno quantum training, which there's a bundle that includes everything, the videos, online training, and so forth. So if you don't have it, you can get it there. Liz Larson, go have at it and pin yourself. I'm pinned right now.
Okay, everybody. So I know some of you are brand new and you don't have our tool, the Cogno Ball. So the Cogno Ball is really important, integral to what we do. We use complex symbol and color to activate the left hemisphere of the brain, touch and shape to activate the right. So if you have something nearby that has some color, you can use that for right now. Your best results are going to be with the ball. That's in our Cognomovement basic training or the fundamentals program. So grab something, just pick something up and keep something to focus your attention. Yeah. Okay. Second thing, find something in your life that you'd like a little bit of a different perspective on or a new idea. So perspective or idea, we are going to work in the realm of possibilities today. All right. You ready? So you consider stand. I'm going to stand so you can see me just a little better. And we're going to do just one round of our basic, what we call low to high, left to right protocol. So drop your eyes down. Take a big deep breath in for me, will you? Let's get some oxygen into that frontal lobe. Big deep breath in all the way into the lungs. And out through the mouth. Signaling autonomic nervous system to settle down. Everybody just needs to calm down. Big deep breath in. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One thing you can do constantly to change how your nervous system is working. All right, eyes in the down position gets us connected with our physical body. We're going to move left and right. If you've got your ball, you're going to let yourself move left and right, and you know the drill. Say the color that you see. Good, left and right. It would kind of look like this: blue, yellow, red. All right, now we're just going to gently move up the body. While we're down here in this low position, though, start to bring to mind that thing you want the new perspective on. We're letting the left side of the brain and then the right side of the brain have at it. We're letting the nervous system or emotional system have at it. So these parts of the body, considering that idea that you want the new perspective on. All right, keep breathing. Move up the body. You're about the waistline now. Cogno movers who have the ball, still working on color and symbol where you're keeping in mind that little idea left and right, letting the left brain and the right brain have at this thing that you want a new perspective on. Looking for a new idea. Beautiful. Moving up into about the heart chakra, and you're about this pace. Just tick, tock, left and right, eyes on the ball. Activating left brain, activating right brain. Good. Activating color, symbol, shape. Saying it out loud, we're activating our auditory nerve, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. The three main ways we learn. Throat. Lots of layers here, guys. That thing you want a new perspective on, just letting yourself wander around in it. Moving up into the eyes and ears, that thing you want a new perspective on. A new idea, beautiful. About eyebrows now. Notice how you're feeling about that perspective. Notice how the body reacts. Not just the brain, but the body. That new idea or old idea you want to change. Breathe. And we're going to tick-tock eyes up. This is our first round of being in the idea generator. Ideas and inspiration. So you can't see me, but we're up over the head here, left and right. Tick-tock. Good. Breathe. Big deep breath in. And let the ball down, let your eyes down just for now. I'm going to take a seat so you can see me better. Now bring that back to mind again, that idea, and notice, write down if you've already had a little shift. We've moved through the body into neutrality, into ideas. So we've already made one little journey. Breathe into it. Really good. All right. Let your eyes drop again and just bring that to mind again, that thing that you want a new perspective on. Now, it may have changed, interesting, but okay, go with it. Breathe in, check into the body, see how it feels, and we're going to bring the ball directly up. Directly up. You can use your left or your right hand. I've got mine in my left, and I'm going to move left first. Move my eyes all the way left. Actually, I don't have a good camera angle here today. Let your eyes be high and to the left, right here. Breathe. And consider that idea. Now just start to rock it up and down. We're in the upper left. In the upper left, we're working in the right side of the brain. Breathe. Consider that idea. Really reach for the ball though. Keep your eyes, like Susie said, you got to reach over there. If it doesn't hurt a little, you're probably not doing it right. Breathe in. Breathe in that idea. Letting the left eye look at it, but the right side of the brain is working here. Good. Now tick-tock it over the head, left and right, just for a minute. Bring in that idea. Hold it both in your nervous system and your brain at the same time. Let the body feel how you feel about that idea. Eyes left and right, tick-tocking. Notice how the idea is shifting and changing. All right, I'm going to move my ball to my right hand. I'm going to work in my left brain. Tick-tocking again. Reach for the ball with your eyes or whatever you have in your hand, if it's a pen for now. And consider that idea. Let your body feel it. That idea, bring it back to mind. Breathe. Every time you take a deep breath, the nervous system relaxes just a little bit more. Give a little more oxygen to the brain. Reach with your eyes. Stay with me now. Really stay in that idea or perspective. Breathe. Good. Now bring it back up above the head. Tick-tock left and right. Breathe. Bringing that idea, feeling it in your body. Notice how your body is changing. Notice maybe how this idea is morphing. Now, with this, you got to keep your eyes up and your chin down. If you find your head migrating up, we're losing that place in the brain that is interacting with your higher mind, your creativity. We're in ideas and inspiration, left and right. Breathe. Good. Let the ball drop into your lap. Let your eyes rest. You're moving back down into the physical. Breathe into it. Feel how the body feels now about that idea. Now, don't close your eyes. This is an important part. Let your eyes be open but down, connecting to the nervous system and the physical body. And bring to mind and body that idea one more time. Notice if there's a change in how your body feels about it. Notice if the idea or perspective has changed. Where are you now? Take a quick note if you need to. We're going to do in Cogno Movement what we call mapping or sealing it in. So we're just going to move left and right very quickly one more time. Left and right across the body from low to high. Keeping that idea or perspective, left and right, just quickly moving it up. Good. So just sealing in where we are now. We're ending up above the head one more time. Chin down, eyes up, tick-tock left and right. Bringing that idea to mind. You're going to go eyebrow to eyebrow. So I've got pointy eyebrows, so it's easy. From about here to here in your vision. And breathe into it. Keeping your eyes really stretched, chin down, eyes up in that high position. Where are you at in that perspective or idea now? And breathe. All right. We're going to take the ball in one infinity just to check. We're going to check left brain, right brain, nervous system, and ideas. So start to move the ball gently down. Now I'm about a hand's width from my face, about there. And I'm really here, close to my ear. You can see my ear, but I'm close to my face. Bring the ball down gently, but really let your eyes stretch. And breathe, considering that idea or perspective. We're going to go across the face, all the way up above the head and the eyebrow. Move back down slowly, slowly, reaching for the ball. We're really digging in, seeing where the brain and the nervous system have a new idea or new perspective. Now, if you find a spot that really your eyes don't want to go, stay there for just a sec and breathe. Very important to calm the nervous system down with that breath. Move, I'm back down here in the physical. And I'm going to cross the face one more time, very slowly. Keep the eyes on the ball. Really feel in that idea. Bring it to mind, that perspective. We'll go around one more time just for good measure. And just notice what's there. How does the idea change or morph? How is the perspective different? Breathe in. Moving slowly here and really letting the eyes reach. By the way, guys, this is good for your vision and it makes you look younger, stretching muscles that we don't normally use. Breathe. Keep the idea there. Great. Good. Let the eyes drop and rest, not closing, just let them rest. Bring it down one more time. Bringing to body and mind the idea. We're going to move left and right up the body. Just one more time, quickly, left and right. If you really want to challenge yourself, Cogno movers, call out the color and the symbol that you see. So it would look like yellow triangle, blue sun, purple wings. This really gets your mind sharp. So calling out color and symbol as you move it up while keeping that perspective in your body and mind. Orange sun, green star. By the way, you want some really sharp brain to get a project done, do this one. Purple wings, yellow sun. Good, all the way up over the head. All right, last round, up over the head, chin down, eyes up. Now really work this time, you guys. Let your body tell the truth about how you're feeling. In this perspective, chin down, eyes up. We're gonna tick-tock left and right and breathe.
One of the interesting things about this is you need to keep both hands on the ball.
Good.
When
Good.
your both hands are on the ball, what happens is as you cross the center line of the body, it forces information across the corpus callosum. It goes from left brain to right brain. This is a scientific fact that has been studied, and it could be the hands or the feet. But as we cross across, it has that effect. That's why it's important to put both hands on the ball. These things that we do may seem like, I don't know why you're doing that, but they all have a basis in science as to what we're doing, which will basically cause you to get a higher performance brain or process or release an issue.
Okay, good idea. You have to keep both hands on the ball. Very important. crossing the center line. So one last big deep breath in. We're going to use this prompt. What else is possible in this perspective? So in the realm of all things possible, what else is possible here for this idea, this perspective, and what else? Just let your mind wander. And what else? What else is possible until right this moment wasn't possible before? Breathe into it, stretch your eyes. What else is available? Available. That was not available about this idea until right this moment. Big deep breath in. Eyes up for one last second. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let your ball drop. Mic drop. Good. All right. You want to shake it off. One of the things we do in Cogno Movement is that we seal things into our nervous system, and we tell our nervous system to change with some basic thumps to the body. So you can do a little King Kong action, liver, kidney, heart meridian, right here, little Donna Eden. Good. You can roll up on your toes and thump, really thump. As I shake the world, great, and just shaking it off, shaking it off. The last thing we're going to do, and it may sound funny, is just map a figure 8 on the floor and walk a quick figure 8. Again, another way to push information to the left and the right brain. Do me a favor, keep your eyes about neutral, straight ahead, just straight ahead. And take one more round where you just let your eyes gently drift up and bring back to mind and body that idea, that perspective that you're looking for, a little something new. And when you come back to your chair, write that idea down one last time and see what's new, see what's fresh, see what's changed, see what's the same.
These things that have occurred to you, new perspectives, will seem so incredibly natural. It's not like fireworks. It's because it's your brain, it's your neurology. The connections are just incredibly natural. And the ideas that come to you are be kind of like, well, of course. Well, I guess I just hadn't thought about that before. Or, I guess I could just do that. So anyway, we're basically stimulating your natural responses. Anyway, go ahead, Liz. Sorry.
I just have to say with you guys, I know everything's my favorite, but I'm an ideas person. It really is the thing that inspires me more than anything is ideas. It's at the top of my pyramid of values is ideas. And this idea generator helps me amazingly get unstuck when I just can't come up with something, or when I just want to be super creative, which is all the time. I use this little idea generator, and so much Cogno movement comes out of this idea generator. So it's a really good one to use, even just for 3 minutes before you start your workday.
All right, fantastic. Now, before we move on to the question and answer portion of what we're doing today, if you like what you've seen, there's a lot more. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and you can get your basic training at cognomovement.com. There's programs there, everything from your basic training, where it's a great starting place. You can also get an entire bundle, which is called the Cogno Quantum Bundle, which has the videos on manifesting and also the basic training at the same time. Lastly, you can get our portal, which has hundreds and hundreds of hours of training and different techniques that are there. You can get an annualized program, and with the annual subscription, you get your Cogno Movement Ball, that sort of thing. We do have coming up, it's not announced yet, but just I'm going to plant a seed. After the first of the year, we are going to be kicking off another round of practitioner training. So if you're interested in becoming a practitioner and helping people, that's going to be available. It will be online, and there will be an in-person component. Now we know about, obviously the state of the world affairs. You don't necessarily have to come. You can put off the in-person to later in the year if you want to, or maybe even the next, who knows? We haven't decided how that's going to work yet, but this is going to be available starting right after the first of the year. And you'll see some sort of announcement in the next 2 weeks to get signed up for the practitioner training. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, you can get that at cognomovement.com. Now,
I posted it in the chat, Bill, for everyone.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, is there anyone who has any questions about today, or would like to share one of their experiences? Can go ahead. We're open to helping you out or hearing whatever. Helping you out or hearing whatever.
Real quick, I've been noticing that my eyes are getting better, and I keep telling everybody I don't need glasses anymore. And until Liz said that, I didn't know why. I experienced that when I did like months and months of carrot juice, but yay, I'm
All
so
right.
thrilled.
Excellent. I love it, Susie.
Just little. Okay, bye.
I love it. Somebody had texted, is the balls come with basic training? The answer is yes. You get 2 balls. You get the Cognomovement ball, and then there's an inflatable as well. We do ship globally, so there's no problem anywhere in the world. The video, the training is online. You'll get a link to the training that you can watch as much as you want. There are trainings for emotional things, athletic performance, for cravings, all inside of that basic training umbrella. So you get the techniques to do it yourself, and you actually get follow along. They're like 15-minute exercises that you actually follow along, so that you don't have to have kind of remember what to do. You just play it in the background, and away you go. All right. Anyone else with anything that you'd like to share as far as an experience, or any questions that I can help you with?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, hello.
Hi,
I am new in this wonderful technique, but for me, I don't know if it's a problem or an issue, is about the timeline. I am stressed with the timeline in the way that when I want something to manifest, I think my system is a little bit impatient to see when this thing is coming. I don't know how can deal with that.
Oh, it's very easy. It's very easy. And this is a very, very important part of manifesting. So when you are, or me, is impatient, right? What happens we know this from Cogno Quantum. Cogno Quantum is around manifesting. What will happen is you will build up a cloud, a resistance in your field. Is like, I want. And with that, what happens is it actually creates this cloud of resistance, so much that if you take your hand and you relax and put it into the field and feel where that is, you can physically feel it. You can actually feel it with your hand. You put your hand in the middle of it, and you know, you can even ask, what do I need to learn and from this? And when you learn the lesson, it'll dissipate in the field. So this is one technique, but even better is to utilize cogno movement. Let yourself feel like I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. And tick, 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 tick. And what'll happen is wherever it's stuck, it will come up and out. And with this neutrality, when you're neutral, and you do the other processes, it's all the resistance is gone. We create our own resistance, is what happens. When we have no fear, we have no resistance, things instantly manifest. An example, the best example I can give, let's say, you know, my iPhone is cracked, right? I have this iPhone, it's cracked. And I say, oh gosh, I want the new iPhone of whatever, 15, 18, whatever number they have now. And I say, oh, but it's so much money and everything. And so I think about the phone, and what happens is the phone will begin to, thoughts become things. And what happens is it starts to come in through the field, and whatever resistance that I have, it could be my resentments towards myself. It could be my shame. It could be anything, but it hits this resistance, this cloud that is so thick that you could feel it with your hand, and it slows down and just, it can't make itself way through. When the field is clear, what happens is it comes in and in and then down. And once it comes in and down, boom, it happens. I've told a bunch of stories about this. I'm sure I don't want to repeat myself, but because I might bore people, but when the people who are very, very clear, they think it, and within minutes it happens, it shows up. So just clearing your space, that would be, and the shortest path for you on this one is to let yourself feel, I want. It's not here yet, and I'm upset. I need this now, right? Let yourself feel it and do cogno movement, and it'll clear.
So yeah, so Coral posted in the chat, and she's 100% right. Another way to say exactly what Bill's saying is feel the impatience. So there's a physical sensation. In cogno movement, we are working not really in the logical mind, but in the physical body. You will notice a correlating sensation in the body that feels like impatience. I used to be the queen of frustration, and that is a very specific feeling. I would feel it in my gut and in my throat, and it felt like pushing. So dig in, like we were saying when early on with Coral, it can be really fun to work through these issues, see what else is inside that impatience, and then keep working back in your timeline. Okay, so we have a couple of things, Bill. We have someone who felt nauseous.
Okay.
And also a question from Facebook land. Let's do that one first. She asked a little bit ago. So Julie is asking about finding a mate. Can she has her ball. She wants to know, can she use it to attract a mate?
Okay. All right. Absolutely. You know, I got so many good stories about this. This is a process, right? And the process is to get very, very clear you probably have some real clarity on particular things that you want. There may be also some hidden fears. And when you're doing, it sounded like to me like you have your basic training already. So I'm just going to speak to you as a person that already has their basic training. So go back to it. And when you're doing, do the infinity. And as you're doing the infinity, focus on this new mate that you have, the very clear picture of exactly what you want. And you're going to notice the places that you have some resistance in your eyes. Therein, those places lies a hidden resistance, a hidden fear. And it will be a little bit interesting to you like it'll be things that you maybe hadn't considered or seem extremely juvenile. Like, what do you mean I'm afraid of that? No, I'm not. Well, actually, your neurology is telling you you are. It's kind of like I shared earlier. You remember when the woman had the issue with that began with her ancestors in slavery. And so you may find some hidden things. And when you blow those away, right, my fears, without fears, and wanting is some derivative of fear, is that the things manifest quickly. So the answer is yes. I had this one, and I showed a picture of it, to the people of the, last seminar. But there was a woman who desperately wanted a cowboy, and not any cowboy. It was like, and to me, I didn't know about cowboys, that's not my area of interest. But because when I thought of cowboy, I think just a farmer, but farmers are not cowboys. She wanted one with the cowboy hat and the belt buckle and the boots, and to be a real cowboy, like he really, rides horses and brands cattle and does cowboy things, like we're for real, like the olden days or something. Anyway, sure enough, we did the whole process on Cogno Quantum process, and the Marlboro Man showed up. I mean, if you looked at it, I was like, wow. I mean, I took a look at that picture and I was like, wow, it was full on, like the whole package right there. So anyway, what's my point? My point is absolutely follow the process. Not only Cogno movement to clear, and then Cogno Quantum to pull it in. If you have basic training, you can get Cogno Quantum as an add-on. I think just email info@cognomovement.com. Great stuff. Okay, we got a couple of things. There's a headache and nausea. Okay, so these are important. I hope you're still there. When you are not done yet, you're not done yet. The nausea is a third chakra issue. So whatever this person, I think there was a person there that was working on nausea, and they got nauseous. So this typically has to do with some sort of control and power. Is somebody going to control me, or am I trying to control a situation? And with that, if it's not worked through the system yet, you can get nauseous. But if you hang in there and do Cogno movement, it'll and this is the most amazing thing. When you're doing Cogno movement, I mean, since when does nausea go away, right? I mean, the way nausea ends for me is I throw up, and that's the end, right? And then it'll go away. But it doesn't go away on its, just like, oh, I have it, now I don't, Well, amazingly, if you continue to do Cogno movement, it will, and focus on your issue, the sensation will move out of nausea into your heart, into your throat, into your head, and out or it'll move down and out. This is the typical pathway. Now, it may move down your arms and out, but what you have is stuck. And temporarily, I don't want you to walk around with nausea. So I'm going to give you a cure for this, right? Go ahead.
I also put one in the chat, Bill. So there's another one in the chat. So I know which one you're going to do, but there's also another one in the chat as well.
Okay. So on the nausea, it just means that there's an activity there in that nerve center, right? And so it will move through typically, but if you were to put just temporarily, let's say you haven't got time, you got to get to work. Imagine the color cobalt blue in your stomach. Imagine it from your tip of your tongue all the way down your throat into your stomach, and even greater all the way down to the base of your torso. So this entire thing is cobalt blue. And that will, if you just only imagine it for maybe 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, that nausea will calm right down. The other one that came up was headaches. Super, super important. The person who ever had the headache, you need to continue doing Cogno movement until it releases. If you don't continue to do the release and continue up, and sometimes these things can go on for a while. You don't want that. Just go back to the issue and finish your session. If you finish your session, you'll feel it move up to the top of the head and out, that sort of thing, or down.
Hey, Bill, I want to explain what I put in the chat for people in Facebook land. So Bill's saying continue your Cogno movement. So you can do exactly what we were doing, the exercise we did. Or what I put in the chat is that you put your attention fully on that sensation. So somebody asked, does it mean anything? It can, like Bill said, but it can also just be that cluster of nerves which is active. And remember, Cogno movement is working in the nerves. So one thing you can do that's very, very simple is you can walk your figure 8 on the floor, keep your eyes straight ahead, deep breathe, walk a figure 8, eyes straight ahead, deep breathe, attention on the part of the body or nausea or the headache, and just simply pinch the ends of your fingertips. Just working through, this is something that, we do with Meridian, just simply working. And it's kind of a mosey, a figure 8 where you're putting your full attention. That sensation in the body is important, whether it means something or it's just the cluster of nerves that is active. Your body is telling you where that issue is being affected, where your body's being affected. So continue to work through. When somebody said, I feel nauseous in the chat, I said, yes, because it means your nervous system is definitely processing. I want to tell you guys a quick story about nausea. A good friend of mine who happens to be a doctor of physical therapy was pregnant, wanted to be pregnant, amazing, but she was so nauseous that she couldn't work. We used Cogno movement for, 10 minutes, maybe, and cleared nausea from her pregnancy completely. So nausea can be a really good sign that things are working. It can also be something that's not so resourceful, but Cogno movement can change it because it is in your nervous system and it's just a pattern that's running around in there. So Camilla asked, can we manifest situations to our kids? For example, a place in a new school if they're on the waiting list. So my advice would be this, and it's always going to be this: work it through your body. How do you feel about that? Are you in fear that they're not going to get on the list? Are you in fear that they are going to get on the list? How does your body really feel about that? What do you have to say, Bill?
So I'll tell a little story about that. There was one of my students who her daughter and her son-in-law got the idea that they wanted a restaurant. And anyway, obviously it's a big deal, a ground up type deal, right? And it was where there was a lot of excitement and tension, and with that, what happened is that they found a location, but it was very, very complex. The complex transaction of the owner of the building wanted to take part in the business, and then there was attorney. So many things. There were so many things that happened, but she did the work on it herself, and just cleared herself on it, and it was like greased rails, just everything. It was so much tension before, and then all of a sudden she does the work, and now they're opening the restaurant, and it was quite a big deal. So anyway, it was very exciting story. The answer is yes, it is possible.
The people that are here, I just have to say this. The people that are ready for Cogno Movement to come to it are really people who've done a lot of work before. I mean, you guys are incredible people, each and every one. And I know a number of you out there. And you may not realize how powerful you really are in affecting not only your field, your timeline, but everyone around you. It was like I was sharing earlier, look around you and see who else's life is moving. We've had the most amazing stories about real estate selling. Now think about that. You want to sell your house, but there's a real estate agent involved in what they need and want. There's the new family that's buying your house and what they need and want. There's a bank involved. Think about all the people that are involved. So every time we have somebody who wants to sell real estate, rent real estate, whatever it is, they change how their body is reacting, get themselves to what we call neutral or better, and it changes. And all those gears fall into line for everyone involved. I mean, how does that happen? One is that you guys are amazing manifestors. Two, that's how physical reality works. I mean, which may be the most important thing. And three, to know that you have that ability to change you, change your relationship with you, change how your nervous system is interacting with the world, and you literally change the world. I don't know, just that little thing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all. One last, is there anybody else that we need to help or has a question or a share? Last chance for romance.
Looks like maybe Susie.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my, I just wanted to say that, I don't know whether it's a female thing or not, but Liz, you always remind us to breathe. And it always helps me. I forget to breathe through this process. And when I breathe, it works better. So that was just another little tidbit.
It always works better when you breathe because you're calming the nervous system. Think about this. If you have a lion on your butt in the jungle or a bear or anything, you're not going to be able to take time and take a slow, deep breath. It immediately changes your nervous system. So number one, deep belly breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Calm your nervous system while you're working. That's the whole aim. It feels great. It's amazing for your body. And it will also make you smarter, which is always important to me. Hey, one last thing too, guys. Go to cognomovement.com and get on our mailing list if you are not already. When you do, there are 2 free books that you will get in an email right away. Tiny Book of Big Manifesting, where we share actual steps. We give it to you, tell you what there is. With the supporting Cogno Quantum that will actually lead you through, which is a course you can purchase. Or Suffering is Optional, which people hate that title, but we love it. It's true. Once you have this tool, you can choose. Sometimes we want to choose to suffer for a little while. Girls, you know, you have a breakup. How long are you going to be in your sweats eating ice cream? There's a time limit on it. It's not forever. So you can choose, because now you have the feeling, like Coral was saying, we can dig in there, have some fun, see what's in it, change it around. So Suffering is Optional, and Optional is another free ebook. You're also going to get an exercise. I think it's the third email in, another one of these eye exercises that's yours to keep and you can do. So join us. You'll also get emails about Cogno Hour and other things that are coming up. So I think that's all I have for today. Bill, how about you?
That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you for sharing. I'll see you later. Tell your friends, tell somebody, and help somebody. Help somebody out there. You know, you have some terrific tools now to help other people. So spread it out there. And thank you.
Hey,
And
Bill.
again, mandatory miracles or mandatory reporting. Please send your miracle stories into us, info@cognomovement.com. You want to reach me and Bill? info@cognomovement.com. Cognomovement.com for our amazing practitioners. Get out there and work with a practitioner. Annette and Coral are two of our best. I know Ginny's out there listening on Facebook land. You can see them all there. You can choose your practitioner and get to work.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.